says a total of $20,000 was invested for 1 year. Part of this amount earned simple annual interest at the rate of X% per year. The rest earned simple annual interest at the rate of Y% per year. If the total interest earned by the $20,000 for that year was $2,720, what's the value of X? Statement 1 says 4 times X equals 3 times Y. Statement 2 says the ratio of the amount that earned interest at the rate of X% per year to the amount that earned interest at the rate of Y% per year was 3 to 2. What would be the first step in our approach to the solution? Well, identify the question. The question is just this part. What's the value of X? Okay, interesting. What is X according to the information prior to the question? X is a percent. So we know that the $20,000 were divided in two parts. They mention a first part of the amount that was related to this interest rate, and there is another part of the $20,000 called the rest, which was related or was applied a different interest percent rate, interest rate of Y%. So this rest has to do with this other rate. So how do X and Y relate to each other, and how do X relate to $20,000 and to the two parts of this $20,000? Well, let's consider defining here a variable in order to make easy to identify this relationship among all variables. If part of the amount, the part that was set to earn interest at the rate of X% yearly, we call P. And the rest, well, the rest we simply call 20,000 minus or take away P, because the sum of the two is $20,000. So, according to the formula of simple interest, the interest earned by the first part of the $20,000 would be that amount of money multiplied by the annual interest rate of X%, X over 100, multiplied by the duration of the investment, which was 1 year. Here it mentions the duration, such duration of the investment. So we would have to multiply this by 1. So this is the interest earned by the P dollars. And what is the interest earned by the other part of the $20,000? Well, the other part of the $20,000 would have to be $20,000 take away P. Okay? So that's the second amount. So $20,000 take away P would be invested to Y% for 1 year also. So this product represents the interest earned by the second part of the $20,000. So we might say that the sum of these two expressions represents the total interest earned by the $20,000. According to the information prior to the question, says the total interest earned was this number. So this has to be the sum of the two expressions, the total interest earned. So here we have an interesting equation. Let's here highlight this. It's an equation that expresses the complete relationship of X to other quantities mentioned in this question. So you see how X relates to Y and relates to P in a unique equation. In other words, if you want to know the value of X, you need to know P and Y. So statement 1, if we evaluate looking at the equation above, allows you, out of this proportion, you know that X over Y equals 3 to 4, you have a way to substitute the two variables X and Y in terms of just one. So you can reduce one variable. using this information. But what about P? P remains an unknown, cannot be found. So even if you can reduce y by substituting y in terms of x, you still have p, and you have no other way to get rid of p's. So it means that x cannot be determined either. Statement 1, not sufficient. What about statement 2? Well, statement 2 says that there is a ratio between two amounts. The P dollars, that is the amount that earn interest at the rate of X% per year, divided by the amount that earn interest at the rate of Y%, that is 20,000, take away P. The ratio of these two is 3/2. Obviously, from this proportion, I can obtain the value of P. So I can substitute P in the equation above, but I would be reducing the original equation to an equation with variables x and y. Since I don't know what relationship exists between x and y, I have no way to write one in terms of the other because I don't know any other relationship. Then you have a single equation with two variables that may represent decimals. Why not? So clearly, we don't have a unique answer for x. So not sufficient. Okay, statement 2 alone is not sufficient. But then when you consider the information of statements 1 and 2 together, it becomes clear that we can find a unique value for each of the three variables. Okay, I have the equation above, equation number 1. This is our equation number 2, and this is our equation number 3. Three different equations, three different variables. I can solve each of the variables in a unique manner. So you can find P, you can find X, you can find Y in a unique way. Sufficient, and the correct answer would be option C.